Your pronunciation doesn't have to be perfect, but in this video, I'm going to show you 3 common pronunciation mistakes that you have to fix if you want to speak more clearly and, more importantly, if you want people to understand your English more clearly. If you don't know me very well, hi, I'm Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Consider subscribing to this channel because there's always something new. Now guys, my pronunciation is not perfect and I may have already made mistakes right here. But the point is, how about improving pronunciation? What kind of mistakes should we watch out for? That's the focus of this video. So mistake number 1 is to confuse vowel sounds. Guys, this is a persistent mistakes. And one thing that I tell my students in my academy is you have to be more persistent than your persistent mistakes. Because, well, there are about 20 vowel sounds and some of them can be very tricky, especially because you may not have the same sound in your native language. So the problem here is, depending on the word you use, depending on the environment, let's say you're having a conference call, okay? You're on Zoom having a video call, just audio, no video, okay? And there you go, you start speaking and you confuse the pronunciation of some vowel sounds. Depending on the context, the person listening to you will not understand. And for a moment, there will be that awkwardness and discomfort, all because you confused certain sounds. I have seen this happen, okay? So what can you do? Here I'm showing you some common mistakes like greet and grit, seek and sick. Let's see what else. Broke, brock, muse, must, fuse, fuss, and I have an intention with these words. These are some examples. The best way, in my opinion, to improve your pronunciation, your vowel pronunciation, is to work on minimal pairs. That's what I'm showing you here, okay? Basically, that means you're going to pick pairs of words that have opposite sounds, okay? So you have the E in greet and you have the I in grit. And you're going to practice repeating these words. Greet, grit, greet, grit. It can be confusing, okay? You may make some mistakes. And keep paying attention. And as you practice repeating these words, you're going to pay attention to the movements, to the shape of your mouth, the movement of the tongue. Additionally, guys, my recommendation here, because, okay, I'm telling you, the vowel sounds, we make mistakes. Okay. You will have to spend time studying the vowel sounds. That's not the focus of this video. I imagine you have already studied a few things, but you will need to go back to studying the vowel sounds, how to make the vowel sounds, the movement of your mouth, the tongue, and then come back to the minimal pair exercise. And then you will practice, and you can even add a mirror and look at yourself. Greet, grit, grit, greet, grit. Okay, that would be ideal. This is a wonderful exercise that will raise your awareness. Sometimes we learn a lot of information in English, but we don't pay attention to these small things. And when we get to a more advanced level and we realize we don't speak so clearly, that's when we start thinking, oh my God, how do I change this? My boss is telling me my pronunciation is not very good. How do I improve? So focus on understanding the vowel sounds, how to make them, and then work on minimal pairs, words that have opposite sounds, okay? Very similar, but different. They have vowel sounds that you could think they're similar, but in reality, they are completely different. This is something that I do, I still do. I work on minimal pairs, then I work on tongue twisters. This is an excellent exercise to add. Now, mistake number 2, just as students confuse vowel sounds, they also confuse consonant sounds. And what happens when you were at the beginning of your journey, you probably learned a lot of information, grammar and vocabulary and phrasal verbs and prepositions, and there were so many things, listen to podcasts, watch Teacher Prix, watch other teachers, and there was so much Now that you're more like an intermediate speaker, you understand some English, you understand this video, congratulations by the way. Now you're looking at the big picture and you're thinking, okay, but my pronunciation is not so clear. My accent is a little strong, which happens in many cases. So now I need to spend some time working on the consonant sounds. Again, same recommendation here. Learn the consonant sounds one by one, repeat them, study especially the movement you're going to make, because this is where students fail. Oftentimes, the students, they close their mouths too much. They don't want to make the proper sound. They just want to speak like native speakers. This doesn't work for us. We need to open our mouths a little more. We need to exaggerate the sounds a little more. And in many cases, reduce the speed of our speech so that we can pay attention to the mistakes we are making. Because if we speak too quickly, we may end up making pronunciation mistakes. We may omit sounds when we were not supposed to. Because in English, of course, we sometimes eliminate sounds. But if you want to speak confidently and clearly, it's much more advisable to simply speak more slowly and focus on your pronunciation instead of trying to go too quickly. So the same goes here, and there are some common combos here, like the B and the letter P. This is a very difficult sound. These are very difficult sounds to some students, depending on their nationality. The R and the L, the T and the D, the S and the sh, okay? The TH, the silent one, and the letter S. I remember a few years ago, many years ago actually, there was this commercial talking about English, and the guy was in the sea, and the ship was sinking, okay? Sinking. The ship was sinking, okay? Sinking, going down, sinking, going under. I was remembering the joke now. And they were calling for help, and then someone answered. I don't remember how to say that, like they were communicating by the radio, and the guy didn't understand that they were saying sinking. He thought that they were using the verb to think. What are you thinking about? And then he says, oh, so what are you thinking about? Because he thought they just wanted to make conversation. It's not that funny me telling you right now, but you get the gist. People confuse these sounds. They will say think. Well, now I said correctly, think. Or sometimes in Brazil, people use the letter F, I think. No, you don't think, my friend. Brazilian people do that a lot. They change for the letter F. Oh, I think. You think not. Okay, nothing. So practice. These are very common consonant mistakes, okay? The B and the P, big and pig, lake and rake, bat and bad, sip and ship, thick and sick. So understand the sounds, how to make them separately. Work on the B sound, understand how to make the movements. There are so many wonderful channels here on YouTube that focus solely on pronunciation. Check them out, because there are many videos here on YouTube where you find teachers teaching only certain sounds. Oh, let's work on B, let's work on P, let's work on R. That's not my goal here. I bring more general tips when it comes to pronunciation, okay? So again, you're going to work on minimal pairs, okay? Minimal pairs will help you, like picking two words that can be very similar and students confuse, like the P and the V, okay? The P and the B. No, the P, yes, the P sound and the V sound. And then you're going to practice understanding how to pronounce. And after that, I want you to use this website, dictation.io/speech. And you're going to activate your microphone and you're going to practice speaking those words. Oh, pitch, okay? Sink, think, sip, ship, thick, sick. And you will see that the dictation will type what you say, and you will make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but this is a good practice. It's fun. It's a challenge, okay? I do this. I was doing this exercise before posting this video. It's a very good one. And guys, if you're enjoying this lesson, all I'm gonna ask you is to subscribe to the channel. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. Make sure to like this video. And if you're interested, I have some products of mine in the description of this video. Check them out. Now, guys, number 3, making wrong intonation patterns. Ooh, this is very common. This is something I work on a lot because we all make those mistakes, which is really connected to the intonation. We have flat intonation, rising intonation, and falling intonation. And depending on the way you studied English, you never dedicated time to understanding the impact of a very flat intonation. In terms of, let's say you have a job interview, okay? And you feel good about the interview, okay? You're not afraid. You feel okay. You feel a little nervous, okay? But then you have the job interview. But your pronunciation pattern is really, really flat. The interviewer may not be so impressed, even though your English may be good, because you used an inappropriate intonation pattern. They will not be so confident that you can do the job because you used the wrong intonation pattern. So depending on how you use the intonation pattern, if you're constantly going up and up and up and up, you may come off as insecure. Yes. So we need to be careful because our intonation may indicate things we're not even aware of. And these points I was mentioning, they were more connected to the message we send. But there are mistakes in pronunciation patterns that you need to watch out for if you want people to feel, wow, that's nice. She knows how to rise intonation, how to fall intonation, because that's how you get people's attention. If I only speak like this all the time and oh my God, you will be, what is she doing? Is she crazy or something? But I need to go up and down, go flat, then go up, then down. This will catch the listener's attention and it'll make it easier for them to understand what you're trying to say. See? Got it? Now, how do you fix that? Shadowing is an excellent exercise to help you improve your intonation pattern in real-life conversations. What are you going to do with shadowing? You're going to shadow someone, preferably a native speaker. You can use my videos, but quite honestly, I recommend using a native speaker's video, but not a teacher's video. There's a catch. I don't want you to watch a teacher's video to work on shadowing. I want you to watch an American, a Canadian, an Australian, a British person speaking about something else. Maybe you like soccer, maybe you like sports, maybe you like dancing, maybe you like gardening. Find short videos, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, with subtitles. And then you will use that video to shadow. You will imitate as much as possible. I know it's difficult. I teach this to my students in my academy. I teach this in my study plan because it is a wonderful exercise that will raise your awareness and make you pay more attention to your pitch variation, your intonation in conversations. Because if you want people to pay attention to you, if you want people to listen to you, you will need to work on your intonation. That's part of English fluency. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel or share this video. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Bye!